Finance Committee meeting to order. Everybody have a chance to take a look at the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Approved claims in the amount of $1,472,791.20.
This includes work on the boat launch, some storm damage, and a TID payment to Philip Metasize.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action to reallocate $13,200 for the purchase of 2 meter stations for the Lakefront Park boat launch.
Good evening, Mayor, Finance Committee. In front of you tonight to request, as you stated, reallocation of some park CIP money that was designated for pickleball courts in Anderson Park to be reallocated to purchase 2 parking meter units that we would install at the new Hudson boat launch. Got a price from Katie. There'd be the same units that we have in our downtown, would be compatible with our parking utility car as it is right now. So it's a pretty seamless transition, trying to get away from counting money down there as it is very inefficient of use of staff time, and seeing that it is larger and it's going to be used a lot more. I don't want to waste the time, staff time counting the money. So just asking for real allocation of that CIP money to purchase 2 units for the boat launch.
So is this money going to be kept separate from the other parking fund, or is this going to be part of the parking utility?
Yes, so the general, just the thought, having discussed with Aaron, is the money that is paid for the meter would go back into the park general operating budget like it is now. Any of the money that is collected by the parking utility writing tickets would go back to the parking utility.
Which is currently how it is.
Which is currently how it is.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll move we approve.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to approve. I want to make sure I understand this, Mike. So the the fine money goes back to the parking utility.
Correct.
But the actual parking cost will stay with the
Yep.
Parks
So
Department?
yep. So if a person comes in there, pays their $8 to launch the boat out of the launch, that money would come back to the city's general operating offset park expenses.
Okay.
So what about the pickleball people? Are they going to be upset that 13,000 has been pulled out of the pickleball?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we've been having this discussion at Park Board over the last year. So we did set aside money to help do a partnership with the Hudson Pickleball Association to build some courts, whether it's at Grandview or Anderson Park. We weren't on the same timeline as what they wanted, so they went out and they formed a partnership with the Y Camp south of town, and they actually refurbished some tennis courts down there. So they built a brand new facility, 8 courts down there that they've been utilizing. We still have the 4 pickleball courts at Anderson Park for public use, and so the need wasn't there after they moved on and went with a different direction. Yep.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Approve the renewal of tax collection agreement with St. Croix County.
So this is the annual agreement. Nothing is changed from the previous years. They're holding the expense the same.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on Police Sergeants Association side letter of agreement.
Yep, so we have just a side letter of agreement on here. When we did the last round of union negotiations, our goal was to try to bring both the officers and the sergeants agreements basically into the same terms, really. And for whatever reason, when we did the transfer of the 2, we left this one out. Nobody caught it until we actually had an officer that had the issue that would have been addressed by it. So that's why we're bringing it back. But again, our goal has been to try to keep those agreements basically the same terms. So when we negotiate, all we're talking really is pay and things like that. So not actual agreement terms. So that's what this does, is this brings them into compliance. That was what our intent was when we did the agreements. It's just this one got missed and we didn't catch it until now.
So we're granting the sergeant his request then?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on 2023 budget and levy.
So as we discussed last meeting, we kind of rolled this out to the Finance Committee, and we just wanted to give the committee a couple weeks to go through the budget in more detail, see if they have any issues, concerns, questions, things like that. Otherwise, basically what we're looking at is a 4% levy increase in operations, but because of our basically 2% of net new growth, it's really only a 2% levy impact on property taxpayers in the city. So I guess with that, unless the Finance Committee has any questions, changes, anything like that, we'd be looking for a motion to recommend approval to the council. And then at the next meeting, that first November meeting, we'd have the public hearing on the budget. And then after we take any sort of input from citizens, the council will then vote on hopefully approving the budget.
Just a clarified question. So when I'm on page, well, it's the 2023 general fund budget levy calculation page. So what's requested and proposed, we are looking at a 4.26 or the 4.55, which will be passed on to our residents.
I'm not sure what page. So if it's a 2023 general fund budget levy calculation, if it's that sheet, what you should look at is the total levy for operations. And if you go all the way over to the side, it's 3.98%.
Are you on the same page as I am?
I think I might be. Yep. So if you go all the way over, that's mill rate. So
Yeah.
that's our mill rate. Yep. So when you look at the very bottom line there, that shows what our proposed mill rate would be, which basically equates out to a 0.45% or less than a 0.5% mill rate increase. And what to recognize with that is that we talked about last meeting, we had a 20% value growth last year.
So that's what offset the overall cost.
Yep. So I like to focus on, what's our actual tax levy increase, because that's based on our actual expenditure increases. So we're raising our expenditures by roughly 4%. But the impact on the mill rate is 0.45% or less than 0.5%. And again, that's because we had such strong growth within the city that you have more value to spread it out on. So you're not seeing that big increase there.
So our taxpayers will see the what number on there?
Well, so it all
mill rate.
depends, because, values change and all that, and everything shifts around a little bit. We have to use equalized value, which is what comes from the state and things, but honestly, people should probably see a minimal at best increase, possibly less than 1% on their actual tax bill.
We
Now,
have
again, it
not
kind of
gotten
depends.
that final assessed from the state yet. So this
Okay.
was an estimate that we worked with our BOMAR to make sure that we could get as close as possible as to what they thought it should be.
And shared revenues went down, right? Or did they go up?
Shared?
Yeah.
Down.
We've actually seen a decrease in our shared revenues a little bit, which is kind of hard to believe considering how little we get, but that's how we're doing right now.
And just a real quick question, just the difference in under the council and the mayor's office. And I just want to reiterate that there were some big numbers adjusted due to the newsletter. So now that's gone down again because of it's going internet, not paper.
Right, so our cost for the newsletter's gone down, and then you were able to just kind of cover it in our general, we have some other line items that we use for publications and things. So we're just using it out of that instead.
Thank you. I move we recommend approval.
Second.
Motion is second to approve. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action regarding purchase of topographic survey and GPS equipment.
Good evening, Finance Committee. So before you tonight, we are requesting to purchase some topographic survey and GPS equipment. That'd be for use for our engineering technician. That would assist us in providing some additional design-related tasks and also some the ability to do more construction staking and record drawings. So essentially what this would do is allow us to bring on board more services that we currently farm out to consultants. And so we believe even though the initial cost is not insignificant, that we'll recover that cost by paying our consultants less money on a project basis. So we recommend approval of the equipment.
So Dean,
Questions?
can a resident just come in and ask you to survey their land? And how much would you charge them? Or is that not for this?
No, that would, well, I get,
Haven't really thought about that one
theoretically we
yet.
could, but I know,
I think it would depend on time and availability.
Yeah.
And what the issue was. I mean, like maybe if somebody wants to do some sort of expansion or something that we're not sure about lines and stuff, we can work with them to, maybe look at that and try to figure out a fee to be able to do
I don't see why
that.
we wouldn't. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
the downtown older parts, Sarah, your district, trying to find the irons would be impossible.
yeah, and so this isn't necessarily for property line, like property
what I
corner
mean.
description. Yeah, it's for topographics, so like the elevations and, lay of the land kind of stuff. So, I mean, that's something we can certainly look into if we want to try recovering some of this cost sooner. And, we do have in our fee schedule right now, a billing rate for myself and our engineering technician for the time that we use to, do things around town. And then, and that I do, and also for our technician, we do as well. And then this could be an added, service on top of that too, if we decide we want to do that. But yeah, we wouldn't want that to take away from the other important things that we have to do, but that would be,
Well, you're not busy.
yeah, I'm not busy at all.
We just got done talking about.
Move to approve.
Second?
Got a motion second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dean. I don't have anything. Anybody?
Yeah, I want to clarify waste management's billing fee and fiasco and clear that up. Make sure we have that on the agenda for our general public to understand what happened and what actions they're taking.
Yep, we're still waiting for some final stuff, but I think for next meeting, we can have an update.
Okay.
I mean, it should be taken care of, but hopefully by next meeting, we'll have a billing cycle that comes through too, well, no.
You won't.
We won't
Quarterly.
yet, but we'll have an update. So we'll do that next meeting.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned.